From the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, this is News Talk 760 WJR, where you hear Sean Hannity, afternoons 3 to 5, broadcasting from Detroit at 760 AM, and around the world at WJR.com. WJR Detroit.
Guess what's back in town? Do you like peanut butter?
Of course.
All right, hang on, because there is something new about an old product, and we've seen various products, in our state go by the wayside. Verner's, gone.
Yeah.
Sanders, gone, finally absorbed by Morley Candies. Town Club is still around. Stroh's gone. Vlasic Pickles, I believe, gone. But there is something coming back. Hang on.
You're listening to The Warren Pierce Show on News Talk 760 WJR.
There's a food going around that's a sticky, sticky food.
All right, now let me give you another clue. The product is, in fact, peanut butter. The product, by the way, featured 3 young faces, 3 boys on the label. And next to their faces, there was the word fresh. And below that boy with a little angel ring around his head was pure. And the bottom one showing a little boy licking his lips, that one was delicious. And by now, if you've guessed velvet peanut butter, you are right. We've got on our direct line now the owner of Hiller's Market. Jim Hiller is with us. He plays a role, by the way, in this coming back. Good morning to you, Jim.
Good morning, Warren. How are you?
I'm terrific, and Eric Bruce is with us as well. You're a former Detroiter, Eric, who came to know and love all these products that I mentioned that are going by the wayside, and you wanted to resurrect one?
Well, that's exactly right. And good morning, Warren, and good morning, Jim. I got kind of tired of all these local brands that help you identify with your hometown disappearing, and my wife and I wanted to see if we could bring one back.
So what'd you do?
Well, it took a long time to really figure out what to do and how to track it down. And
why did you decide, by the way, to go after velvet peanut butter as opposed to maybe, I don't know, some other product that was gone from the shelves in and around our town?
That's a good question. Probably the number one reason was I remembered it, and I just started trying to see what I could find out about it, where it went, why it went away. And then, as luck would have it, I happen to be living in Georgia right now, and that's where all the peanut butter's made. So it just seemed like a natural fit.
Do you remember, Jim, stocking? I mean, because this is a product that, correct me if I'm wrong, has been off stores like yours, Hiller's Market, for over 20 years. Do you remember the product on any shelves that you remember, Jim?
Oh, of course. Warren, you grew up here.
Yeah.
So you know that velvet peanut butter was one of the foundation products, almost a cultural icon.
If it was doing so well, the question becomes, Eric, or maybe Jim, why did they stop manufacturing it? And this goes back, I'm thinking, Eric, and you've probably done the history to the 1920s when a former Detroiter created this velvet peanut butter product?
Well, I believe it was 37 when it first came out.
All right.
And the long and short of it is the owner, I think he just wanted to retire. He was getting up there in years and sold the company to a much larger company, and through a series of acquisitions, just sort of the big conglomerates lost interest in it, and it just finally went away.
What was it? Was it the Zuckerman family that created the peanut butter product or the peanut butter recipe, Eric?
That's exactly right. It's Paul Zuckerman was the gentleman who founded the company, and I was talking with his son Norby yesterday, and Norby was telling me the story how Paul was a truck driver at Eastern Market and saw an ad for some used peanut butter equipment. And he borrowed $1,500 and was able to manufacture the peanut butter from 37 until 85.
Now, Norby, by the way, the son of the creator of Velvet Peanut Butter, wasn't he the face on top of the jar with that, and the fresh word next to him with a kind of a smirk or something on his face?
Well, Jim probably knows better than I do because he's personal friends with Norby, but that's what Norby tells me.
What do you make, by the way, of that look, Jim Hiller?
Well,
did you ever ask him about that?
No,
no, you didn't.
I never did. But I think it was a brilliant piece of marketing back then, and I think it's even more brilliant today that a man would use would use a caricature of the essence of his children on his product, and I suspect that's exactly what it is. I think you'd probably have to ask Norby what the look was.
All right, Jim Hiller, hang on. Eric Bruce, Resurrecting Velvet Peanut Butter down there in Georgia, hang on, because we're going to get the rest of the story, how long it's taken to manufacture, how well it's going at places like your Hiller's Market as well, but at 19 after 8 a.m.
Hello, Detroit. Won my heart. Your Renaissance and waterfronts give you a flair of your own.
Now, back to the Warren Pierce Show on the great voice of the Great Lakes. News Talk 760, WJR.
And we're talking about some of our beloved Detroit brands. Faygo Pop, still manufactured here in Detroit. Verner's, now owned by Dr. Pepper and Snapple and that group. Sanders closed down. Morley Candy started making it. Better Made potato chips still being manufactured on Gratiot Avenue in Detroit. New Era potato chips now long gone. They closed in 1981. And then there's Town Club and other things as well. And we're talking about the resurrection, the comeback of Velvet Peanut Butter, and they traced the roots to this two-car garage in Detroit back in, what'd you say, Eric Bruce, 1937.
Right.
It became so popular, this product invented by Paul Zuckerman expanded the operation, not once, not twice, 3 times, finally establishing a plant in Livonia back in 1963 where it was made until the family got out of the business in 1985, and it's been gone. Jim Hiller of Hiller's Markets now stocks it. Eric Bruce, now living down in Georgia, a former Detroiter, resurrected the Velvet Peanut Butter brand. How difficult was it for you to get the actual recipe, by the way, and start making it down there and sending it up to Jim's place?
Well, as it turned out, as luck would have it, I found a guy who made it 23 years ago, and he's, again, making it for us.
Is it a secret recipe, though? It is
its own secret recipe. And we were able, like I said, to find a guy who made it 23 years ago. He's making it again. I tell you, Warren, it wasn't very difficult to get people caught up in your dreams. When I approached my partner down here in Georgia, the partner company we use, I just explained my dream to them, and they said, we'll help you. And it's amazing when you talk about your dreams, how many people are willing to back you and get behind you and really help.
And the natural spot to stop is to call Jim Hiller, because obviously he's born and raised here. Hiller's Market is synonymous with not only Metro Detroit, but Michigan. And Jim, you probably would welcome a product like that with open arms to put on your store shelves. How did that unfold? How did that transpire?
Well, that's exactly right, Warren. I mean, when Velvet Peanut Butter showed up in our office and my head buyer saw it, he thought he'd had a religious epiphany. He came running out and he said, "How wonderful!" And you know, we immediately jumped on the product because we were aware that our customer base, and we are essentially a 70-year-old company, much of our customer base is 3rd and even 4th generation. So there's almost an organic connection between Velvet Peanut Butter and the Zuckermans and the Hiller family. And at first, of course, we began to market the Velvet Peanut Butter as a piece of nostalgia. But in fact, it is a super premium, extraordinarily well-made brand. And we have every expectation that our customers who, you know, the Hiller's customers tend, I think, to be a cut above the average. They know what they want. They appreciate quality. And I expect that Velvet Peanut Butter is not going to just see a resurgence, but I think it's going to become one of the great staple products here in Michigan because of its quality.
Yeah, but Jim Hiller, you're also certainly a big promoter, maybe the biggest promoter of Michigan-grown products, Michigan-made products. So this was just a natural.
Oh, absolutely.